Yep. So, good day, guys. Good morning. Good night. Hard to say. For me, it is about 2 a.m. on the eastern coast of the United States. So, hi, late night stream. um, Quickly getting the information to share this over my YouTube. Don't know if anyone will come watch. You know. If so, yellow. If not, it's fine. I understand. Kind of was in the mood of like, I'm gonna go do some streaming and I'm gonna do some train stuff because I've been in a Railroads Online mood. So, once again, I want to apologize for any squeaks you may hear. This chair squeaks. I've tried. I've also turned the audio up so hopefully the game's louder this time. And I might be a little bit quieter, but hopefully it kind of fixes things up a bit. Okay, there we are. Just going to go ahead and send that tweet out. Did it seriously not? It didn't. I love when you send a tweet and then you realize the link didn't actually link. Like, now I have to go delete the tweet. I swear. How they don't have an edit tweet button this far into Twitter's lifespan, I don't understand. Like, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Like, how has your platform not developed that in some point or another? Making sure that it's loading up correctly. Let me mute this. Hi, guys. This far into Twitter's lifespan, I don't understand. Yep, I told you to mute that. Oops. So some of you just heard a double echo. That happens whenever my browser doesn't mute. You may hear twice. So I do have the game up in a windowed state because I only have one monitor because I'm broke. Hardcore broke. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Anyway, I'm in the game now. I actually had just finished before I jumped out of the game last time. Not on stream. This is just my own personal game. Because I don't have a stream world because I wasn't streaming when I started playing, and honestly, until I make a YouTube series of this game, I'm just going to use my private world. Anyway, gotta go with that. I just got finished doing a run up to the iron mill, bringing down iron ore and everything. And essentially, I just kind of left my train here to get taken apart. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, and I'm going to get my little Betsy over there to start sorting out train cars and getting a new train built up so we can take it back across that mountain range there and, well, essentially go do a bunch of logging stuff, because this side, all I can do is take all these cars, empty them here, because we've used up all the... I had an entirely full area of 100 cord wood, and the iron ore I brought down emptied that entire area. I feel proud. So, my track over here that goes up to the iron mine, sorry, has a 6% grade, so I went and bought a climax. So, these are really good for very sharp inclines and things like that. We're going to go ahead and pull this train forward. Only issue with the climax is it's really loud. Oh. Well, I guess Betsy's doing all the work tonight. Not at all what I planned. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way back then. We'll leave it up here at the switch, and I'll go down and work with Betsy and get all that put away. Since, decision. We can turn the locomotive around at the turntable over there and get ready to go to the top. First, we're going to bring it semi-train right here. So, you may notice that there's still a bit of track there. That's because that track actually goes down to a dead end. I actually posted a photo on my personal YouTube a while back. Not YouTube. I've got my mind stuck on things, can't you tell? On my Steam profile for me and my friends only. And, well, we'll see. Anyway, back to the thought. Essentially, a friend of mine had taken the Eureka, one of the locomotives in this game. It's a 440 type. You know, like the old school Wild West, oh my goodness, look at that locomotive type thing. And I was switching tracks, he was in control of the locomotive, and suddenly I hear, oh no. I think that's what happened. Anyway, I go over and I find out he put the train in a tree. It's fine. We got it out. So yeah. That's why that track has been extended a little bit more, and now has, oh goodness gracious. Which track is this on? Okay, cool. There we go. Fire's not fully up there yet, but go ahead and get this moving for now. Get it past the switches over here. While it does that, it's going to heat up the firebox, and we'll take some of this residual steam and just kind of let it, you know, heat up. If you don't know what Railroads Online is, it's essentially a game about running trains with your friends, building railroads, cutting down trees, is what I said last time, and I kind of still agree with it. By the way, the old stream from last time, I was supposed to edit it and put it back up because some things happened, and it was kind of uncomfortable, and, you know, gonna have that one edited a tiny bit. But, well, to put it gently, life has been hectic, which is weird to say when I'm unemployed. I have been unemployed for about a month now. It was about early March. Yeah, it was early March when I lost my job, and it's now going into the second week of April. Yeah. It's uncomfortable. It's frustrating. It's something that I want to, like, rectify. But it's hard to go, yeah, I'm going to go right back into the field that just, you know, decided they didn't need me anymore. It's not exactly what happened, but it's what it feels like. especially because my management lied to me on multiple occasions. So it's fine. Some people are probably going to be upset for me, but it's fine. Like I said, I've said multiple times, I don't hold a grudge against the old company. They were just following protocol. I'm just frustrated because I wish it could have been a different situation. For those of you who are joining for the first time, I go by Sylvar on this channel. This is Gaming in the Grove. I am a satyr in my grove, which is, in the lore of a satyr, their private, homely place. When I moved into this apartment, I was like, I've got Wi-Fi. I am the one who paid for this Wi-Fi, so I'm going to decide what we're going to call it. And I called my Wi-Fi the Grove, and I'm like, yep, this is it. This is life. So the idea is simply that I am just enjoying my everyday life and enjoying everything and just playing the games in the Grove. You will hear me refer to various Greek deities as if they are normal people because as a satyr, you are a mythical creature. The idea of Pan, like, being something that you can interact with on a day-to-day basis is not that far out there. Like, Dionysus is not that far out there. Like, the whole idea is kind of, if you want, like cosplay and character building and all that. Does that even make sense? That's a weird way to word that. Essentially, I worked for theme parks for a lot of years, and one of the things that I fell in love with when working at them is this whole idea of just creating a character and having fun. I want to put the train cars on that track. And when I designed this channel and thought about coming over and doing this, that's kind of the whole idea I wanted to go for. I wanted to just have fun, be a satyr, enjoy the world, enjoy the simple life that it is, and yeah. Which, it's not that simple life, it never was. Even in the mythology, satyrs were kind of always this weird edge case of the civilized world with their drinks and their parties and their social customs, but also the bestial side, the wild. So satyrs were seen as kind of, in Greek mythology, as a bit of both, which then it's kind of funny that, you know, another religious group came in, grabbed Pan, and said, hey, we're gonna villainize you. Someone who loves Greek mythology as well as loves the kind of more little-known version of Greek mythology, like dealing with Pan and Dionysus and all that, like, I just find that stuff really enjoyable. So I'm over here like, if you look at history and you look at what's been twisted and changed around, that's a little frustrating. But what can you do other than just play games, have fun, and enjoy your own little world, which is what this is all is. Come on, stop. I put your brakes on. Stop. Betsy, darling, I will throw this bar. Well, now you're gonna stop. Of course you are, because it's through the bar. Anyway, unplugging from that. Well, letting that go. You may have noticed there's some weird names on all these cars. I've called my railroad the Rocky Mountain Railroad, but instead of doing a normal naming convention where railroads would put their names on the side of train cars, I decided all my train cars, depending on what type they are going to be named after towns and cities in a United States state. So, all the names on the side of any train car that's wood related is an Oregon town or city. Like, so all of these are locations in Oregon. Love it. And when I got these coal and iron ore cars, I was like, cool. I grew up in coal mining country as a child, so I decided all of the coal and iron ore cars are going to be named after towns in West Virginia. I probably could have done something like Colorado or something like that, but I've already decided that I want not Seattle. I want Washington or Colorado to be my passenger car names. I'm not sure which yet, but I'm going to try and figure that out. But essentially, yeah, everything's named after a West Virginia town. Weirton, Grafton, Wayne. This one didn't come out right. The editor I used to help put these in, because I did them incorrectly the first time, did something weird here. But I'm not mad, I'm just entertained. The town's name is Middlebourne. Middleburne. But the first I and the N just got murdered. Which, I love that it ends up, in the end, what it actually does is, Middlebourne. And then it's E404, which is fitting because before I had this car named 404 EROR. This is definitely the Air 404 car. It lives on no matter what happens, and I love it. It's fantastic. But, alright. Now to get out of here, these cars are going to be left. We're going to go over and pick up these cordwood cars, empty them out, grab the full ones, pull them out, push them in, empty them off, and then we're going to add the cordwood cars to here. I'm going to pull the train back to the switch here, and then I'm going to quickly actually go run and grab the other locomotive and pull it back to the turntable. That way we kind of get everything going at the same time. We're juggling a bit. We're juggling. I have to do all the roles because I'm one person in an entire server. It happens. It happens. I can be a one-man show. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I swear it's all fine. There we are. Also, there is a cab mode, if you will. They added it in after release, and it's okay. I don't like it as much. I've used it once or twice, mostly for like the hand curve there that doesn't have an easy way of using it. But essentially, it's like GTA mode, essentially. You walk up to a locomotive, you press F. Come on. Now I try and you're not going to do it. There we are. And you get a whole bunch of like levers and stuff here at the bottom of your screen. It's like, oh, woot. I don't do that. I mean, it's cool. Fun. But the real thing that I like is going in and just using my mouse and clicking and dragging on the things. Makes it a bit more hectic, but also makes me really want to play this with like a VR headset. Like, this would be a lot of fun in VR, I think. Like, just grabbing the bars and everything and just running these locomotives. I've seen various code bits, which seems like they might have been testing VR on the back end. I don't know if it's officially supported, but I have seen things in the files that are like, oh, that's absolutely a file that you only find in the VR versions. Also, right now, this team is hiring. I don't know if hiring is the right word. They're looking for new individuals to come join their team, and essentially they're looking for modelers and things like that. I want to join because I'm not a modeler. I'm something else. I'm a world designer. What that means is the modelers give me the models, and I take them and put them in the world. So you give me like buildings and items like that, and then I take them and put them in the world for the players, and kind of build up the map. They have said that they're not working on a new map, which is a little like disheartening to me because that's what I would love to work on for this team. Like, their map is nice. This is a nice map. I have issues with it. I have issues, and I would love to be able to get involved in that too. Like, work on a new map, or maybe be brought in for something. I would want to be brought in as a graphic designer, but I've already recently learned they have a ton of graphic designers. Like, my God, as I look through the team list, I'm like, you don't need me. I'm not that good. I'm a graphic designer. I'm not that good. I'm okay. You know, I want to like see about designing my own version of like the map. No. Da 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 da. Just can't get to stop in one spot. Just keeps going by. Oh goodness. I was supposed to be watching Moon Knight tonight, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. We'll see. Finally, it's lined up. Get back here. Ooh, that whistle is a little chompy. Come on. Just a little more. Is that all my wheels? Oh! Is that off? It's off! I gotta turn this around, then we're gonna go work with the little baby over there. Can I just sit here and do this? I won't tell if you don't tell. Don't think this is at all how this is supposed to work. How much more do I need to go? Cool. We're lined up, so when I'm ready, I can come in here and grab this. How are we doing on water? Pretty good on water in this. I already know that little thing's running out of water. Alright, Betsy. How we doing on your water? Not terrible, but not great. Let's go ahead and get you everything sorted with you, and then we can see about getting you some water. She's gonna be so parched. One of my big things right now that I'm working with is I have recently been learning Unreal again. I'm a little bit worried that I'm learning Unreal 5, and I know that they're still using Unreal 4 for this game as well as a few others. But from what I've seen, all that they've done for Unreal 5 is they've just moved some of the tools around. A lot of the functionality is still there, it's just changed and made easier. So I might have to like look up how to do something again in the future, but you know. Oh. There's no... Okay. There we are. There's just nothing there. I'm not expecting that. Any more brakes on this, or can I go? I'm gonna pull back just enough so we can unload here with that car. I know there's a whole lean feature, but I'm just gonna pull outside the window a little bit. Mainly because I've had issues with the lean feature before where I don't realize it's on and I can't seem to see anything correctly. Gonna just pull back and do that. That menu I briefly popped up was the sellers menu. It essentially shows your company's money that's being made, your XP, and all that. This is simply making sure that, you know, we were making money from that delivery, which the answer is yes. Okay. Gotta wait for this to get past that switch. Jump that thing. We're only 2 cars away. 3 cars away. 4 cars away. Actually, we're like 2 or 3 now away from the actual switch. Alright. Just gonna double check all my brakes, make sure there's nothing on, just in case. Nope. Alright, gonna push forward, grab those cars, bring them out, and then sell them. I mean, not sell them, but like, sell their goods. My main goal for the stream is to get back over the mountain. Not even lying. That's entirely my goal of the stream. I brought Betsy over last time with the train, This time I'm not taking Betsy. Betsy's going to be left here. This is her new home. So, Betsy, I hope you enjoyed over here. Betsy's entire life is now going to be spent essentially building trains on this side. I'm planning to build a little yard over there for building up ironworks and rail trains to have those taken over the mountains to their needed locations. I think the rails end up going to the oil fields, and I think the raw iron goes to the ironworks. I think that's what it's called. Cool. Alright. We only have 4 cars here. Simple enough. Just pull them forward, pull them back. Ta-da. By the way, reminder, all of this is placed by me. Like, the game doesn't place any track for you. You have to do that yourself. They're about to change their entire track system, so if you've never played before, maybe hold out a little bit longer for when that track system goes live, so you can jump in with the new track system and not have to, like, relearn stuff. Sorry for all the yawning. Like I said, it's like 2 a.m. here. So what's happened is I took all the brakes off, so now when it gets up there and stops rolling backwards up the hill, it's going to start rolling forwards down the hill. So close. Also, weird note. You may have noticed there's a red caboose that has my railroad's name on it. A friend of mine actually asked me what the caboose's use is when in a single player game. And it was a weird conversation because essentially I said, I like to be back there and run the brake from the back of the train sometimes. And he's like, but why? Wouldn't it be easier to run the brake from the front? I'm like, yes. Yes, it would, especially because the brake in the back doesn't really do that much if you're not braking the rest of the train. But one of the things I do kind of like is that Railroads Online absolutely will allow you to do that. It will allow you to sit in the back of your train and watch the rest of your train go if you really want to. And also, it does kind of make a nice little, like, endpoint on your trains. So I always know exactly where the endpoint is on my train because I put the caboose at the end of my trains. So anytime I'm looking back to try and figure out where it is, like this, during one of these situations, if I have the caboose on there, I know exactly where it is in relation to my locomotive. There we are. Alright. Go ahead and have those unload. Nice. That rolled really well down here. I have 2 more cars left to get, and then we're done with that. And then what I can do is I can switch to locomotive's place. I can have the little Betsy go up there, while I can bring the big one down to pick up the train. So, one thing I'm really excited for Railroads Online is recently there was a giant change up in the teams over there. Some allegations ended up happening. One of the team, a member who was transgender, got tired of being misgendered and asked, hey, these are my pronouns, I am they, them, respect me, please. I respect you, I would just like you to do the same for me. And they made this very public, and it came out that someone on the team was not okay with that, and it definitely went down a very sour patch. Sadly, the person ended up leaving because they were getting death threats and were getting harassed, and it was not good. People got banned from the server, and a lot of things went south. But the new community manager, who is also the head of music for the game, has actively been always putting his best foot forward and has absolutely been a wonderful ally to his coworkers, friends, and to the entire community. And that was amazing. And then not just that, but Discord was able to step in, give them some great advice, give them help to help get things cleaned up and resorted. And essentially, if you haven't yet been there, the Railroads Online Discord has reopened, and it's reopened in a wonderful way. It is a wonderful place to be now. They actively have a place that's called the Voice Channel that you can choose what you want to be called if you want to do that. That way people don't misgender you, and it is fantastic. Also, the team member who was found out to have been helping perpetuate a lot of the negativity and a lot of the issues has been let go. And not just that, but it has come out that the team has actively hired new modelers and people to come in and step in and replace the work they had done, to let them go entirely. And that is fantastic. Not just fantastic, I've looked at the models and stuff in their modeling showcase, and they should have brought these people in way before this. They should replace all his work well before this, because the new stuff that I'm seeing coming in looks fantastic. It looks worlds above what's in the game right now, which I never thought I would be saying. Like, it is insane to me how there are people who are mad about this. There are people who are actively upset and threw a hissy fit about the fact that someone asked for respect and to be treated like a person. And I think the way they've handled it, the way the developers have handled it, they took a little bit of time to kind of get their response together, which was a little frustrating, but since then, since they got the response together, and they've actively been, like, pushing for a good response, well, not for a good response, but pushing for, like, change. It's been, I love it. I honestly, I think that community can go far and can do amazing things, and I think that I think the development team are also able to go far. and be amazing. And I am glad to support them. I was worried for a little bit there because a lot of teams and stuff will just sweep it under the rug and be like, no, 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 nothing happened. But they actively were like, okay, that wasn't cool. None of this was cool. Discord got involved. That's really not cool. We're going to do better. And I don't know if the team member who left will come back. I hope they do. Because the excitement in a lot of that team's voice when discussing the projects they were working with this person, it made me excited as well. It felt me good. It doesn't hurt that I have known this person, not known personally, but I've known of them for a long time. They have amazing art. They are fantastic creators. So seeing them in this project I was really excited to see what else they could do. So here's hoping they maybe go back with it, especially because the team has absolutely done amazing work to try and correct the wrongs. Anyway, now that's out of the way, and now that I've got off my little, yeah, this has turned out pretty well for them. This has turned out really well. I'm really happy this is turning out so well for this team. We're going to discuss something else. So you may have noticed my videos are coming out pretty regularly. I have tried talking about it on Twitter. I've tried talking about it on here. So that video did get taken down as I work on it. But overall, I do want to say that I am actively looking at continuing with the tradition of weekly videos. Monday and Thursday are always going to be continuous series. So they're going to be series that will be every week. There is no break on them. It'll be every week. Where Tuesday and Friday are going to be bi-weekly shows. What that means is for the season, it will be two different series depending on what week it is. First week for this season was Sylvar and Surviving Mars. Second week is Derail Valley and Satisfactory. So next week, after this one, that should be back to Surviving Mars and Stonehearth. Week after that, so on and so forth, every other week up until the end of the season, which I have decided that the end of the season is 6 episodes. 6 episodes of the main series. That will be the end of season 1. After season 1, I'm probably going to step back for a bit, look through everything, and then start working on season 2. Because right now, season 2 is not finished at all. I have a bunch of ideas laid out, but I don't know exactly where it's I don't know where season 2 is going to be or where it's going to come from. Oh, I fell off. I fell off! I fell off. I had a train fall on me. I seen in a stream where someone had like a derail counter, and I'm it's tempting. It is so tempting to put one in. I'm not going to because that will hurt my soul in the long run. But no. There we are. Let's try that again. just gonna have the locomotive come back and get this train. Before I do that, I'm gonna move Betsy over to where she's safe. Because we have two things left to do. We have collect the train and collect the caboose. And before I collect the train or the caboose, I want Betsy out of here. I want her over underneath that water tower. Cool. How are we doing for firewood? I'll throw a log in. Temperature's not... I can't wait for the new track to come in. They've already revealed the new track. You could run through that without issue. I understand why they have it like that now because it's realistic, but as a gameplay mechanic, it's frustrating so much. Alright. Going back to our switch here. We are. So up that valley that way, it's about like about that high up, is gonna be the iron ore mine, where the logging company is about like left with us on this side here. They're not there. Also, I should probably change that switch over. And stop. Still off. Better. Alright. We'll let it sit there and the heat to go out. Since I'm going to let this cool down, we're going to go ahead and close this. There we are. Alright, I'm going to change that switch and then I'm going to go grab our train. Ah, goodness gracious. So, there's been an idea that I have had that I would love for them to implement into this game. And it's not even like a big game breaking idea. It's actually more of a game helping idea. It's a UI idea. No, it's not. It's not UI. It is a level design UI idea. You may notice something that I have seen. There's a lot of floating numbers. There's a lot of floating icons and items. And I just want those floating items to be turned into like physical signs. I think at the platforms here, you could absolutely just have like move this up a little bit and put like a chalkboard here that's like nailed in, and the chalkboard has that information on it. You don't need to have that there. You could absolutely just have it on a board on the platform, I think that would work perfectly, especially because you have this like weird white texture there. Like, guys, it makes it hard to read at times. But anyway, um, yeah, it's just something that I think would be a really cool thing. You can make it like a chalkboard or like a flipboard. I think a chalkboard would be more interesting because you could then customize it to each of the different industries. Um, there are a bunch of like homemade industries you can add in that would require something like that as well, but maybe those ones could be more generic. I think the more likely you're going to run into something multiple times, probably the more generic it should be. Where the ones where you're going to come into the contact with them maybe once, I think it's perfectly fine and maybe even more well received, a much better idea to make them individual. Because knowing me and my taste in gaming, I think it'd be cool to have like a little chalkboard here that has like iron ore 0 of 1,000 on it. Have some smudges around the words so that you can see that they change them when they change them. Change them. Maybe a little notes from like a local worker or from like something down in the area. Or if you do like a flipboard, maybe instead of having like notes on the chalkboard, have like posters for the local area. Like hiring posters for workers at the local like mills or something. I don't know. That could be fun. Gee whiz. I thought I felt a buzz. Something messaging me. But it's quite alright. It's nearly 2:30 a.m. By the way, it's 2:30 a.m. I'm still trying to get my entire train out of the yard. Okay, time to get that caboose. Ow. Alright, gotta get the caboose. And after I get the caboose, I think I'm going to ride the caboose as we go up the hill. You know, just enjoy the view from the back. I don't know how this is going to do. I redid a lot of the curves and stuff, so it should be safe. But I don't know. Roll, my pretty, roll! rolling. I'd say we're rolling in the deep. By the way, you may have noticed my engine's name is Sunset, with the railroad below it. That took a little work, because that's not how the game wants to do that. But I found a way to, like, trick it into allowing me to put that underneath it, so kept it. The name of the locomotive being Sunset is because my other locomotive is named Nuka. So I have Nuka and Sunset. I can't tell what game I'm a fan of. Like, I don't know what franchise I love so much that I would do that. Alright. It looks like it just made it. Hopefully it was gentle enough and didn't push it away. I'm trying to run as fast as I can, but I can't run that fast. It's got brakes on, doesn't it? Damn, run that way. Come on, open the door. Nope, nope, nope. Actually, there we are. Now we're gonna open this. Lovely. Alright. Gonna set it forward. I'll set it at like 70%. I think that's fast enough to go up the hill. I don't know. This is a locomotive that's supposed to be dealing with like sharp hills, so it might do fine. Away. So we're gonna sit back here in the caboose and just enjoy a nice, relaxing ride up the mountain, over into the other side where we will end the stream. Which is funny because I think that's where I ended the stream last time. Is I ended the stream over there. No, I ended the stream at the freight depot. I think. Oh man. That's because you have a nice little view. Goodness gracious, this is what I get for doing a stream so early in the morning. But, you get a nice little view of the entire terrain. I have 2 sets of these flat cars here. So, it's 16 cars altogether. So, weird note, when going up the mountain, you can only do 4 cars at a time, I think, for a set. So you can take 16 cars up to a certain point, and then you have to do 4x4 up to the next switch and slowly rebuild the train, because it won't be able to take that entire train over the hump, which is frustrating, but makes sense. Once again, just a reminder, all this track and all this area had been cut down by me. I had to like do all of this. So. Yeah. So, what type of videos am I looking forward to doing after season 1? Well, I'm looking at how things like Stoneheart do, and Surviving Mars, and all those videos that I'm doing, and I'm kind of watching them and going, okay, that was fun. Let's see what we can do from there. Specifically, Surviving Mars and Stoneheart have been getting like a lot of attention. So those are series that I was originally going to maybe like replace with something else, but maybe I'll make them a more permanent stay and take some of these other permanent series out. For example, I think Minecraft Immersive Railroading, I think this is its only season for right now. I think it's going to get essentially canceled for its season 2, and I might just replace it with Railroads Online. I'm highly tempted to replace it with an edited version of this. I am so sorry. This is why, when we get to the other side of the mountain, why we're going to be ending the stream. Other than that, what else am I looking at? Planet Coaster. I had a great idea a while back for a Planet Coaster series where essentially I build up a map and then I am stuck having to play with that map. Like, I can build tunnels, but I cannot drastically change that map's blueprint. I can change it a bit to add in buildings and pathways and stuff and make things fit perfectly well. But the idea is to play around and try and have the park fit within the map. A realistic playthrough, if you will. Don't know if I want to do that, but that was the idea. I think it's an interesting one. I think it could be a lot of fun, so it's on the list. Outside of that, I thought about doing a Fallout 76 playthrough. I thought about making a brand new baby character and role-playing. I've actually talked to one of my friends about this idea, and the idea would be we would role-play in the way we would make new characters. His might be a tiny bit little higher level than mine. And we would essentially play as if we were our characters and act like we were meeting up and adventuring in the world of Fallout. It would be a role-play series. And we've discussed it. It sounds interesting. I just don't know if we're going to be able to do it. If we do it, I'm thinking at this point we'll do it on PC. Because he and I have the least amount of stuff on PC. Camps, I would want camps to be pre-built and down before we started. No looking at the map. Pit-Boy would be allowed, but that would be like something we'd have to like look at. Fast traveling would not be allowed in the episode. Then again, you wouldn't see it, I guess. That's a hard one because it'd be technically part of the editing process. Anyway, yeah, it's definitely one of those ones that I've looked at and I'm like, this could be interesting. We're level with the locomotive. We're smoking just as much as the locomotive is. There's the end of that track I mentioned, by the way. Sit down. Let's see here for a little bit more. What else am I looking at? Honestly, I feel like that's one of the things that I overdid on this season was transportation and building, and I feel like I want to do some other things for next season that are not that. I feel like this overabundance was mostly because this is what I felt comfortable with at the time. Derail Valley, I think, has been canceled already. I think I've already said that. I don't remember. I think it's only getting 3 episodes. Just because the game's fun, but at the same time, it's hard to record a video for it. Like, it's a fun one to just go in and relax with. Recording a video is an entirely different thing. Like, episode 1 of that was like an hour. I think episode 2 was also an hour. I don't know. I'll have to see. I definitely think that wants to be canceled though. I mean, there was a series that got canceled before the channel ever went live. Like, I was supposed to have a full week of gaming content. I had a full week planned out where you would have 3 staple series and 2 rotating series. And the other staple was to be House Flipper. But I recorded an episode or 2, and as I went to edit them, they did not work. They were not fun to watch. They weren't that fun to record. It was an issue of just no all around, so I ended up letting it go. I have been tempted to maybe start, with my friend's permission, streaming Apex with him. You know, linking this up to other platforms and doing streams on both at the same time. And, you know, maybe that will happen, who knows. What I know is that I absolutely kind of felt like it would be cool to, you know, get into streaming some of those more competitive games that we play. I wouldn't say we play competitively, but we definitely try and more have fun than anything else. Once again, Locomotive's like right here across from us. Supposedly, I've accidentally left a bit of rail here that's absolutely broken. Like, it should be poking up through the top here. I don't see it. As we keep going around, I want to keep looking for it. I don't see it. Oh, I see the old bridge. There's no bridge underneath it. But I don't see the thing that I saw. I saw like tracks like going straight down on it. So I'm like, that's intense. We're gonna see if we can get through this. Sorry, I just realized what we're coming up to. This is a bit of track that I've had issues with before, so we'll see. Other than that, I don't know. There are more Halo reviews coming. I had fought for a long time with this. I was originally thinking of combining episode 2 and 3, but the other day I just kind of sat down and I went, no, these need to be their own separate videos. They're short videos, but I need to do them, so there will be more of those coming. I have one video technically edited, and I think maybe... No, I don't have it edited at all. I took the pieces and I took them apart, so they need to be thrown into an editor and messed with. Yeah, this is a full-on loop, like the track loops above us. You should be able to see. Yep, right there. There's the locomotive. Absolutely have had train cars jump off the track here, so this shall be curious to see if this happens again. If it does, it should be right about there. My hope is, because I don't have a locomotive pushing up, the linkage is going to keep it all together and keep it from falling apart. So far, so good. So far, having a single locomotive has definitely worked a lot better for this stretch of track. I definitely want to get a longer train, though. No, why would I ever? I want to get a train long enough and pull by one locomotive to, like, have it going over it. Like, I think that'd be so cool. I've gotten close. I've gotten close. I just love this view, though. Like, oh, and there you can see all the track that I have that's leading up to the iron ore mine there at the end of the valley. Yep. There's my little loop over. That was a really fun. That was a fun build, and it's been a fun thing on my railroad ever since. Like, some of my Tarlo locomotives, it barely fits underneath it, and it's kind of cool. Alright, now we're just going up through the mountain pass. Let's sit up here for once. Like, I've got all this area. I can sit back here in the back, I can sit up there, but I'm just gonna sit right here, I think. Like, just enjoying the view. So, is there any other content coming, like the reviews? Maybe. A friend of mine and I tend to watch a lot of like series that we usually don't watch. Some of them were like repeats, like we're watching old things. Some of them are like new to us. Like I've watched a series but he hasn't, or he's watched a series and I haven't, and we're kind of like crisscrossed on that. It's kind of fun, but sometimes we'll watch movies together, and that's where I kind of was thinking of maybe doing more reviews with them or something like that. We'll see. It's always fun to kind of like watch something and then afterwards kind of go, okay, interesting. I don't know how I feel. Let's talk about it and just hash it out. There are some movies that I will not be doing for a while. I am waiting for them to come to streaming services because I rented and tried to watch Sing 2. It expires in like a few hours because I did a digital rental, and I love Sing 1. Sing 1 is like one of those movies that just came out of like the broadside. Like, it was over in the wing. I had no thoughts about it. Watched it and loved it. Sing 2, I have a feeling if I can get past the cringy bits, I'll love it too. But the issue is I gotta get past the cringy bits, and that's hard. Because there are a lot of cringy bits in that movie. Like, that is a crunchy movie, and I think it's because a lot of the character building, which is a weird thing to say. A lot of my issue, I think, with the movie is the things Buster Moon didn't learn from in the first movie. Because in the end, what he did ended up getting him everything back. He got his entire life put back together because of what he did. And I don't think he learned that, sure, yes, it's good to follow your dream, but sometimes you need to watch how you do it. And even in this one, I feel like he's going to do that as well, but I don't know if he's going to learn the lesson that maybe overexerting yourself without first having a plan isn't good. I don't know. I like I said, it got so crunchy that I was like, I need to put this down and step away. I will watch this when it comes to streaming. I'll watch it with a friend of mine. If it's really bad, we'll laugh at it. If it's really good, maybe I'll give it maybe I'll be able to give it a review for it. But Sing 2 right now, crunchy. It's like Crunchyroll. Actually, that reminds me. I want to watch Full Metal Alchemist with it, like the original series. I think that would be a fun one because my friend likes to watch a lot of like darker shows, or that's what he keeps asking for lately. He wants to watch something darker. He wanted to watch I Zombie the other night, but I was just like, I don't want to watch that. We have so many other series I would rather watch at this point. Yes, we need to get to it, but I've watched a little bit of it, and I don't want to watch it right now. I don't feel in the mood for this. I feel really bad because it is a good show. It's just not what I want to watch lately, and I think I need to find more things that both of us will enjoy to kind of help fill that in for right now till we can get to that point where we both want to watch something. I end up going to bed shortly after that. Like, I would love... I think he would enjoy Carnival Row, which, if you haven't seen that, oh boy, go strapping for that roller coaster ride. It is a steampunk fantasy, and it is intense. Like, man, I have been writing a steampunk fantasy novel for years now, and it is not easy to do, but my story is teenage, young adult, like, fun times compared to this thing. This is just dark, but it's good. Orlando Bloom's in it. He's still extremely handsome all these years later. Alright, we're over the top of the hill. I don't know if I should run to the front. I'm gonna, just so I can turn off the throttle, and then we'll talk more. Alright, we'll wait and catch up with the caboose again. Going around another one of my horseshoe curves. There's a lot of those in this railroad. Any other questions? Anything else I should answer? It just got really dark in here. Sorry about that. Alexa, lights on. It's 3 a.m. and the lights turn off. Normally, I'm not streaming during this time period, so that's not an issue normally. But, yes, I have my Echo set to turn off my lights at 3 a.m. because you're supposed to be going to bed at that time. Whoops. A friend of mine are usually watching shows by this time. Like, our shows come out and we're like, okay, time to watch it. So, I don't know if he's up. If so, that would be when we would probably watch something. Which is another thing. I don't know if I'm going to review it. Mainly because I don't know how I would review it. I think I'm just going to wait to watch the entire series and then do one large series review. Moon Knight from Marvel and Disney. That's it's interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking of just waiting and doing like a full on like the entire series review because it's only 6 episodes long. I might as well just wait. Unlike Halo, which is like 3 episodes longer, and I can't wait. Weird discussion. We'll talk about it again another time. Anyway, we're finally on the other side of the mountain range. Like, that's the top of the mountain there. We're now just rolling down into the track over there, which is going to be at the lumber yard. The sawmill. Also, you may notice that the chair behind me is slightly crooked like this. That's because the metal over here. Well, here's the thing. You gotta make sure you're watching out for what you buy because the welds in this chair did not hold up. This is actually the second of this brand that I've had. and the welds in both of them have failed in the same locations both times. I don't know what happened. I don't understand why they failed, but they did. And that's why, while they were lovely people to work with to get the replacement, I'm just, no. I'll go with someone else. Hey, this is a sharper one. Like, I feel like I could have saw a derailment here very easily. Whew, boy. There's probably some 4 and 5% grades in here that don't realize. Words. Don't worry about them. I'm watching to see if anything comes off the track in a weird way. So far, so good. We're just being able to coast on down, which I'm okay with. Roll down the hill is fine. I don't know if the track's all set in the yard, but you know, here's hoping. Oh, wrong thing. Can you? Had to swing the other way around. Close that. Alright. Close that door. As I said last time, for people who are seeing this for the first time, I couldn't number it the way I wanted it to, so I've numbered it April 4th, 2022 is the day I bought this caboose. Alright. Gonna run to the front of the train. Well, I'm gonna more like walk. I'm just gonna walk up to the front, you know. Let it keep going. When I get to the front, we'll see where we are in the yard and see if I need to pull some switches and, you know, see how we're doing. It's always neat seeing where we come from. Okay, so far so good. Not seeing any issues here. There's my lumber cars. This is, well, those used to get logs. These are used to get lumber and beams. And this can be taken across the mountain range or to the freight depot over there. This is a bit uphill, so I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. I don't think we're past the switch yet. Go through the train, and I'm going to do brakes on each of the different sections. Caboose. By the way, caboose I think is just over. Yeah, it's just over the side there, so, you know, almost didn't make it. But yeah, this is my little yard that I have here at the bottom of the pass. This is where I build trains before taking them over the pass. There's a track there that runs back to a circle loop. That was close. Didn't even know that at the time. Alright, gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm gonna go put this engine away. I could just run around in a giant loop and kind of like come sit in this area here, but I'm gonna just drive it in straight. This is a shed. Originally this was gonna be another yard for holding things, but I decided it's a better place to store my locomotives when I'm not on this side of the mountain. So that's why you'll find the Nuka is in here. We're going to go put Sunset in there, and that's where we're going to end the stream for this time. For those of you who are seeing this in the future, hi! For those of you who've seen this while it was going live, hi, I didn't even notice you were there. Congrats, thank you for watching. I am so proud of everyone who watches this and enjoys this with me. I hope you all learned something interesting about my channel. Ooh. That's not gonna happen. Anyway, just gonna let that go. The entire ride down, let the fire go out. Should be enough steam to get us over to the barn. It's a lovely valley. I think a lot of fun stuff can be done with it. I think some of my design changes I want to do with it would be really interesting, but for now, I still need to relearn Unreal a little bit. I still need to kind of get in the handle of get used to like optimizing in it, and then from there we can kind of maybe see if it's what have me. Locomotive absolutely did not listen to the brakes. It just went, no. Rammed straight into a wall. There we are. Alright. Gonna close that up. Oh, let me turn that off. That turns the generator here off. That turns off the steam going to the brakes. So this locomotive is going to like shut down slowly but surely. And then next time I come in here, I can just jump into Nuka and just head away. Don't know if that will be on a stream or just my own fun time, but we're over the mountains, through the woods, and on to the next trek, I guess, which is going to be, now that I have all that done with the track going up the iron ores, I need to connect the track over to the smelter with the raw iron and the rails, and now connect up to the oil fields and the ironworks. So, moving on up. And And after that, I need to connect up a line to the coal mine. Because I need coal for the ironworks, I know, but I don't know what it needs. I don't know if I need it for the oil fields or not. But yeah, you know, there's a lot going on in this game. There's a lot going on my channel. Thank you all for watching if you've been watching. Thank you all for seeing my lovely, crazy stream. And I hope you all end up having a wonderful day. And till next time, this is Sylvar. I have been your Seta. And how do I word this? I really don't. I'm not used to having to, like, you know. Yeah, no, this is about like all my other videos. Ending things is like the worst thing for me. Alright, y'all. Till next time, this is Sylvar. Be nice to each other. Be good to each other. Good game.